Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Most of you, if you watch this show, you know Rachel Hubbard and her husband Billy. Well, on this show, we have Rachel and her father, Ralph Brisbane, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and on this show, we have a very special guest. Many of you already know Rachel Hubbard from being on here. Her and her husband, Billy, and their family live at Second Chance Ranch. They started out as foster parents. I was generous enough to give them 6 teenage girls about 19 years ago.
7.
And, 7 teenage girls. And but now as daily operations directors, they are keeping, are you keeping a baby still?
We are.
Still have a little baby that they're taking care of that could be having a new home and destination sometime in the future. Who knows? The Lord knows. Mm-hmm. But you may be seeing, well, who's that person with her? That doesn't look like Billy Hubbard. No, that is known at the Hubbard household as Mr. Moneybags. Now, this is Ralph Brisbane, who is grandpa, and all grandpas, whether they have money or not, are still moneybags. So, Ralph, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV, and I know you're really excited about being here with us on set.
Thank you for having me. It's a privilege. I appreciate it.
I've never really had a chance. I've known you for years, but I've never had a chance to sit down and just talk to you, and that's what this show is. It's just a conversation. There's no cameras, and there's nobody watching. We're just talking.
Okay.
That's pretty much a lie. But so we're just really, it's a conversation show, and I asked Rachel to be with us because I wanted people to be able to, oh, that's Rachel's dad. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you, Ralph. Long before Rachel was even conceived and entered the world, where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school, et cetera?
Well, I graduated from Benton High School in 1975.
Benton High School. See, I didn't have any idea that you were from Benton, except there was someone who owned a florist in Benton named Brisbane Florist. And who was that?
Mother started that in 1970.
Yeah, that's your grandma.
Yeah, and later on I took it over in like when was it? 87, something like that.
Yeah.
And I had no business in the flower business.
Yeah.
Anyway, we won't get into all of that.
Didn't take long to find that out.
And I had some other issues too at that time, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And so, how many children you got? Is Rachel the only?
No, Rachel and Rebecca.
Oh, I know Rebecca. She even worked at the ranch.
Yes.
You know, sometimes this brain is just, it's present, but not ever present.
I understand.
Yeah. So,
Rebecca's 4 years younger.
Yeah.
Really.
So what do you do professionally now?
I manage Little Rock and Memphis branches of a national company where we recycle used cooking oils and service restaurants.
So you go to restaurants and get the grease trap stuff, is that right?
Yeah, the oil that comes out of the deep fryers.
Yeah.
And we do a couple other waste streams. Oil water separators from service stations are, you know, different businesses that service cars and
stuff. You
stuff.
own an Arkansas franchise or something of the national company, or how's that work?
No, it's just a branch of it's all owned nationally. It's private equity owned. And we operate in all 48 states.
So you did that sometime after you realized you weren't a florist?
Yes. It took a few years, but I did.
Yeah. And let me just go back here. As a dad, I had a couple years ago, Billy and, well, not Billy, but Bradley and Jennifer Lattin. And we called Jennifer D3 for daughter 3. I don't know who started that. I think she did.
I think she did.
And they came to me and they wanted to work at the ranch as foster parents. And I said, now you realize what you're talking about, right? You realize you've got a couple of little kids. Y'all came before you even had kids. And I said, you know, they're going to hear words that you might not hear at church, I hope. And see behaviors that wouldn't be normal at church. You realize your kids will see and experience that. They said, yeah. So I say that to ask you, when Rachel, somewhere along the line, said, "Hey, Dad, I think I'm going to quit teaching school. I think I'm going to go out and live in the woods at this place called Second Chance Youth Ranch." Do you remember that conversation?
I remember that.
And
it was
you want
maybe not word for word, but
Yeah.
I remember.
You want to kind of share with me what your thoughts were at that time, or did you tell her what you thought?
Well, I think they'd been married, what, 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah, I'm going to give them 7
Rachel and
teenage
Billy.
girls.
And, you know, I thought, who am I to tell her what God's telling her to do? You know, I said.
And had you been to the ranch at that point?
No, I didn't know anything about it at that point.
Tell me more. Yeah.
Yeah, and we discussed it and what was going on. I said, well, y'all have to make that decision. I can't make it for you. You know? And just try to, you know, whatever they do, it's okay. You know, encourage them and try to support them the best I can. You know, and that was quite an experience.
Yeah.
Even, you know, because they didn't want to have Christmas anywhere but there, and they didn't want to have Thanksgiving anywhere but there. You know, so we went to the ranch to do those things because, you know, they had kids there, and it was.
All right, so tell me, when you crossed the bridge, hopefully they can kind of work a picture of the bridge here into the show. When I took my mother out there the first time, she kept saying, "Hun, are we there yet?" I said, "Mom, just hold on." You know, 15 minutes on that gravel road. And it's out near Perrin and Perryville. Not Perryville, but more like Perrin, if you're familiar with the end of Canis Road into Perrin. And then we got to the bridge. Everybody always, and Mom said to me, "Son, is that safe?" And so when you first drove out and you saw the bridge, you're still a mile from the ranch. What were your thoughts? And then when you drove into the ranch, tell me what you thought.
Oh, it was definitely different. And that was back before you did the side road to actually make it 5 miles
road,
instead of 6.
Yeah.
And, you know, you come down that hill. It's pretty impressive just to see the church at the bottom of the hill and the buildings and everything out in the middle of absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You know, but I drove around out there when I was a kid, doing things I probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, there's a whole family that drove around through those woods. I won't mention their names.
Yeah,
it was quite a. It was known.
That's what we did, go out and drive. And so I was going down a dirt road wasn't that big a deal.
Well, airplanes sometimes, I'm sure they still do, especially small aircraft. You'll see them, and then they'll start circling. You know? When DCFS was discussing approving us to receive foster children and some assistance, Miss Treasure, as she was driving out with someone from DCFS, Department of Children and Family Services, she said, no, this is too far. No, this is too isolated. She said, I got to that bridge. She said, no. And she said, and then we came up that hill and down into town, and she said, oh, yes. And she said, at any moment I expected Mac Dillon to step out and have a gunfight. And people say, why the Old West? And my response has always been, I want to take them out of the hood and take them into the woods, and let's start life all over again. Rachel, we've gone through this whole segment. I only have 10 seconds, so you're not going to get to talk until we come back from this brief intermission, so don't go away. We'll be back with Ralph and Rachel.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. We are tonight interviewing Rachel and her dad, known as Ralph. And so, Rachel, we didn't let you talk in the first segment because me and Ralph, we were just having a discussion. But tell me, when you first moved to the ranch, at what point did Dad kind of start coming out and seeing y'all and checking things out and meeting your 7 teenage girls? You and Billy married 6 months.
Yeah.
No children of your own, never had any children of your own. How much did you have to say, did you ever say, Dad, we've got 7 teenage girls. What did you do to help me when I was a teenage girl? Did you ever get any of that godly, fatherly wisdom, or did he just say, girl, you on your own?
I remember the first week calling and apologizing to him for my behavior as a teenage girl. Those girls cried every single day, all 7 of them, about something. And I just remember thinking, oh my word, I can't believe I put my parents through this.
Yeah.
So I did call and apologize.
Your first 7 girls, approximately their ages back then?
About 13 to 18.
Paula was probably 13. Was she one of your youngest?
She came
was
a few months
She
later.
came a little later, yeah. And she's still connected with you and Billy.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
she's got how many children now?
2, and she's 32 years old now.
That
Crazy.
is, yeah, see, when I think of Paula, the last I think of her, she's 17.
I know. I used to tie ribbons in her hair,
Yeah.
and but my dad got involved really quickly because I mean we're a close family, and we wanted him to come and see what we were doing. But I think maybe the first like holiday that we were there like really solidified things because I mean whose house am I going to take 7 rather difficult teenage girls to spend Thanksgiving, and I wanted them to be comfortable and them to be at home. So I asked my family, I was like, could we just do Thanksgiving here? And they're like, yes, absolutely. Just so supportive, so kind. And
So they brought Ralph, the family came to you.
they did.
At the ranch.
And every holiday for 20 years now has been at the ranch.
Yeah.
And my family has just jumped in and been so supportive, so kind to the kids and loving. And I really think that's a part of our longevity is just the support of my dad.
Yeah, and that's awesome. My question is, it is so rare for anyone, even professional DHS, DCFS people, to stay in that lane for 2 decades.
Right.
And y'all are in your 20th year now. What is it, and Ralph touched on this, I think, but I want your clarity and your view. What is it in you and Billy, and now your children, your oldest being 16?
16.
Oh, God. What is it that has kept you in this lane as now directors of 91 foster
91
children, not
today.
7, not
Yeah.
20, 91.
Yeah.
And 21 of them being under 3 years old, 3 and under,
Lots of littles.
21 in teenage years, teenage years, and then the tween years, 49.
You must have got a report today.
I did. Yeah, I did. I looked
Monday
at it.
morning
I looked
report
at it.
or Tuesday morning. Well, to us, I mean, there's lots of reasons that it's good, like the hugs and the children loving us and the relationships and all of that. But there are days that it's really, really hard. And the reason that we've never quit or given up or left is because this is what God told us to do. And so even when we don't necessarily feel like it or it's not going well, it's an obedience thing for us. And I'd rather be obedient to God in the hardest day, the hardest moment, than disobedient and, serving ice cream or something.
Let's talk about those first 7 girls. We do it confidentially, of course, but those first 7 girls, how many of those still contact you sometime over the last couple of years? A phone call, a card?
At least 6 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They stay in contact, and sometimes it may be years without talking, and then they'll reach out or need advice about something. And
So the youngest would be 32, the oldest would be about 40?
yeah.
And I've been doing this so long. The oldest young person, when I started teaching Sunday school at Oak Cliff United Methodist Church in Dallas when I was in Bible school, her name's Pat. She was 18, and that was the year I turned 20. Well, I was born in 51, and that was 73. The year I turned 22. So don't tell my wife I said this on air, I'm 74, So what would Pat be? She'd be at least 70.
Yeah.
That's how long I've been in youth ministry.
Oh my goodness.
So, but to be in ministry for a long time, that's getting more and more rare for many, quote, professional clergy. But you're staying in your lane primarily because this is what God laid on your heart. And so as a mom of two, a 16 and a 11-year-old, a little girl, you have a life, you have a family, and yet you've got now 91 children and all these other staff members. How does a person foster or do what you and Billy are doing and still have family and connections? What's the additional part of fostering that a lot of people, they only focus on, oh, I could never do that, that'd be so hard. What is the real added benefit of it?
Well, I mean, I think part of the way we balance is we do it all together. Our kids are very involved in ministry. They go to things with us. We're training them.
And they'll even pray with the
they will. They'll de-escalate a tantrum. They'll pray. I mean, give advice. My son has led one of the kids to ask Jesus into his heart. Like they're in it. And so, like, just watching the way that it has molded them, I mean, they're the best, like, great kids, you know, and I don't feel like it's been negative for them at all.
Yeah.
I feel like it has been 100% what God wanted them to do. Don't you think it's been a positive influence?
Yeah, and it concerned me, you know, hearing some of the things they hear and stuff, you know, they hear what's going on, you know, they're not shielded from a lot of it, but they handle it very well, and they're very well-rounded kids and positive.
Yeah. They see a part of the world that a lot of people never see, and that's going to give them a worldview that few people get to have that basis foundation. When fostering started at my home in Craighead County up in Jonesboro, I was 6. I think it was the year I turned 7, so that's a long time ago. And we got 4 boys from Boonville, and 3 of them were the same age as Paul, my brother, and my younger brother, my older brother, and then my younger brother, Pat. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, every day, you know, you had 4 other guys, well, 3 others, because the other was 5 years old. He was really young. But these boys were virtually the same age as me and Paul and Pat. And we just played. We ran in the fields. We chased rabbits and, you know, tried to ride our hogs, all kinds of stuff. And I loved it.
Yeah.
And I never saw the negativity of it. I just thought it was a great deal. And when I moved to Methodist home with 110 kids there, I thought that was great. Hey, if you're interested in fostering, mentoring, and adopting, this is the lady you need to talk to, and we'll be right back.
My name is Kyler, and I am 11. I like to play video games. I'll ride my bike sometimes. That's really all.
Great, and tell me about school.
It is horrible.
Why is that?
'Cause
Is there anything good about it?
recess.
You have great. Perfect. All right, if you will look at me. Hello. Perfect, then look right at me. Awesome.
What is a family?
People love you, care about you. I want to be adopted because I have a family who go places a lot, do a lot, like to play video games. And that's really all. I want to be a YouTuber or a caseworker. I want to be a caseworker because I want to help people.
Hey, welcome back. I know that you just watched a video of a child or a sibling group that's believing that you might be the answer to their prayer for a forever adoptive family. If you have any interest in that, we'd love to connect you at 2CYR.TV or 2CYR.org, or the information is probably on the screen. And someone like Liz or Rachel can answer your questions, or you just have questions that I don't answer, and you're curious, how can I or my group or my Sunday school group, my business, how can we be involved? Even if we can't adopt or foster, how can we help y'all? And that's one of the reasons we're on television, is just to keep reminding our viewers through Victory Television Network, which airs through social media around the world, hey, we need you to be involved. We're not on TV to get you to watch us. We're here to inform you how you can do that. And Ralph, Rachel, who is her and her husband Billy are our daily operation director. He's Rachel's dad. And Ralph, you said in our break that some of the kids call you Grandpa.
Yeah, they still call him Granddaddy.
Granddaddy.
A few of them, we still have contact with them.
Yeah, and we mentioned Paula earlier. She's a mother of 2 now, and she still calls you Granddaddy.
Yes, she does, and that's been, a long time.
A long time ago. She's in her 30s now.
19 years. So
Wow.
it's amazing.
So how did that work for you? How has being involved at Second Chance Ranch and being a part of the ranch family, even though you're not a staff member, which means he's free and I appreciate it, how has that impacted you personally? What's it done for you?
For one thing, it's made me more aware of the children and the plight they go through. You get in your own little circle and you don't realize all the tragedies and things going on. I mean, my daughters, if I remember one time I said a word I shouldn't have said, and I thought they were going to beat me to death.
We don't put up with that.
And these kids have been raised in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking. I mean, to see that going on and know we just don't realize what they go through.
So when at the ranch, on the ranch property out at Perrin, we have how many kids approximately today?
About 30.
About 30. So when you drive on the property and they see you, what kind of response do you get? Do they run and say, oh no, there's Ralph? What do they do?
It's not as much as it used to be because, they're more family oriented, I think, than they were in the past. It's changed, with federal laws and stuff, I believe. They more act like individual families, but there's always somebody out playing or running around doing something. And it was, like I say, they had that reunion. I talked to you about that, and they had a family reunion, what was it, 5 years ago or 6 years ago? And to see all the kids that it affected over 10 years.
Those kids that are now adults, and many of them brought their kids with them.
Exactly,
And sometimes y'all mentioned doing holidays as a family at the ranch. Sometimes we'll get the phone call and they'll say, hey, I want to come out and bring my baby or my husband or my wife, and I just want to come visit. Can we do that?
Yep, and we love that. That makes our day.
That really... Yeah, in ministry, which is what we're all in, even if we're working in a secular job, we're still in ministry, we're still salt and light. There's times, I'll just tell you today, I was driving to the office to do these shows, and I drove by a heat and air company that I use both at the ranch and here at the church and here at Arkansas Christian Academy. And I thought, you know what, those guys are so good. They're always responding to our calls, and they know that if our air or heat's not working, I've got hundreds of kids here. And I just took a minute and said, hey, and I text 2 of them and said, hey, I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate you always taking care of me personally and taking care of the ranch and the school. And they immediately, within moments, responded, hey, thank you. And that might have made their day, because maybe they had a customer angry yesterday, or they couldn't get to a service, or
That's probably rare.
Yeah. So I don't ask people to thank me. I mentioned something about thank you cards, and next thing I know, Rachel's and her children, her and Billy, she wrote the card, and Billy agreed to it. And then the kids actually had a couple little notes in there. I don't live to get thanked, but in spite of that, to have somebody just say, hey, thanks for what you do. And Ralph, thank you.
You're welcome.
In the kingdom, it's the people that serve behind the scenes that are rarely acknowledged or noticed that oftentimes get the least applause, but deserve the greatest of gratitude. People like me that's on television or in a pulpit that's a little more high profile, we not only get the applause, we also get the arrows. We get the criticism, but it's not a one-man thing. There's no way that we can do what we do without people like your dad, who's supported you guys in what you're doing,
Right.
and supported Rebecca and her husband Travis in what he's doing, but really indirectly support what I'm doing, because I can't do what I do without everybody, both volunteers and prayer warriors and givers. And that's really why we're on the air. You know, when you watch those videos of Project Zero that are so beautiful, that give children an opportunity to express their hearts.
Right.
That's what I want people to know. We're not on the air to do anything for us. It's, can you help us help children, and how can we help you in your life? And that's why we're on television.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say, Ralph, to anybody that's, you know, they're like you, they're a business person, maybe their daughter's not serving directly in foster care, but what would you say to anybody that's even thinking about calling Rachel and Liz and saying, hey, I have some interest. What could I do to help y'all?
You know, it's amazing all the different ways that can be done. You know, mine is mostly I give financially to the banquet. And I didn't do that at first. I mean, it took a little bit of time. Number one, I wouldn't give money to something that I thought was a waste.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like the ranch is very good stewards of the money.
Yeah.
You know, they've done a lot, but, you know, and it's grown.
When you say the banquet, just want to clarify for people, our annual banquet in the fall, we have several hundred people come, and we give people an opportunity to see what we're doing, hear our results, and to support it. And so when you say give to the banquet, that's what you're talking about.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's, you know, that's grown every year since they started doing it. I don't remember how many years they've actually been doing it, 10 or
12 maybe?
12, something like that.
Yeah, we just get up every day and do, and next thing you know, it's time for another banquet.
Oh.
And I'm
Again.
gracious enough when they're organizing that last few details down at the Benton Convention Center to just drop in, because they're serving lunch. and it's so hard for me to do that, because I see all the volunteers and all the hard work, and then to walk in there at night and see hundreds of people who share the heart of God and our purpose of Second Chance Ranch existing. If you have interest in any way in fostering, mentoring, or adopting, or supporting, or praying, will you contact us at 2CYR-TV? So until then, we'll see you next week.